Still don't have it. There we go. All right. All right. Now I've got it all set up. Yay! Thanks for being here with the fireside. So sorry for my delay. I had some. Hey, Joy. Hi. Hi. Uh, it is raining and windy here. The wind actually calmed down enough. And now I'm looking, and it's kind of looks strange because of the ultraviolet rays in the some of these cameras. So sorry about that. They're not all the same camera. Anyways, let's talk about what's going on with this full moon. Okay, so we're going to talk about that first, and then we're going to talk a little bit about like what you can do about this with the full moon, what the energy is with it, and then from there we'll go backstage and do the fireside ritual. So let's look at this moon. So the moon is in Scorpio. So this particular moon, as well, it's obviously like it's an eclipse, right? So there's some aspects going on. Obviously, it's working directly with the sun. So what that means is when the planets are lined up, you've got Earth, and then the moon revolves around the Earth, and then you've got the sun over here. And so as this moon is moving and the Earth is moving around, and I should have grabbed this diagram tool I have, would have been a lot easier, but use your imagination. So the moon is swirling around Earth, and then Earth is moving around the sun. And at some point they line up, and we've got this, right? Where everything is dark. So you can have different types of eclipses. The great thing about eclipses is as we go through this tonight, it will be a much stronger energy than on other full moons. And the beauty of that is it's in Scorpio, one of my favorite signs. So when we look, let's see, I wrote this all down. When we're looking at the energy of Scorpio moon, I want you to think about what this sign is doing and what it represents. It also happens to be in our 12th house. So our 12th house is all about, excuse me, um, our 12th house is all about things that are healing, they're private. It's a lot of emotional healing, energy healing with whatever is also working with the 12th house at that time. So when we're looking at this moon being in Scorpio, this is going to be areas and the best type of things to think about to work on are going to be um, matters of power, matters of sexuality, or just sex in general. Psychic growth is a really good one for Scorpio. Uh, Releasing some of your secrets and your fundamentals that maybe you are ready to let go of to allow more transformation. And it's also a really good time if you're doing any type of healing for like reproductive systems and things like that. So when we're looking at that, I've written it down because I knew like things are going to be blowing around, and I have these little tiny screens I'm working on. So oh hey Stephanie, you were in the wrong place, huh? Okay. I'm glad you made it. That is right. I totally forgot about the Zoom. So I will get that going for you guys for backstage as soon as we're done. We can all hustle over there. Okay. So that would be the members for the fireside. All of you that just heard me, we're gonna hustle to the Zoom afterwards. But first, we're just gonna talk about this moon some more. So when we are looking at this moon, let me go back to the chart I had pulled up. Okay, so we've got some energy working with the Mars, right? And so we've got Scorpio, that's water, and we've got Mars, that's in Cancer. So the waters are actually working together, and they're like, yes, let's do this, right? So you have the ability to release. Now, again, bringing up that 12th house, you have the ability to release like some long term trauma, some long term habits, some long term, like you, whatever you can think of, right? That's in your life. I say that because in everyone's life, it's different, right? It might be habits, it might be health things, it might be behaviors, emotions, attitude towards things. It could be all kinds of things. So when we're looking at how this is working, you can keep in mind that Yes, very cool, Stephanie. Sorry about that. Thank you, Paula, for the me too. Um, so when we're looking at this, we bringing all that through. So one of the easiest ways to work with the moon, especially this particular one, is we're going to burn whatever we write, and I love that for ourselves. So when you're looking at the practice, and I'm going to get back to the chart and go into it more deeper, but I also want to kind of highlight some of the things we're going to want to do on the practice, so that way you can start thinking of these things and processing these things. So what you're going to do is either on something burnable, right? I am going to write on paper. I've written on leaves and many other types of things, depending on the time of year. But writing this down and writing what I'm releasing and then burn it. You can, I'm obviously outside, the wind calmed down. So earlier I was all prepped to burn inside because I was like, well, the wind's going to blow it away. But as you can see from my hair, it is now a lovely breeze instead of a full storm, which is crazy because it's been like 80s, 90s all week. And now I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I got to get a winter coat out. I don't even know the temperature, but it feels freezing after all that heat. But I have a small ceramic that I'm going to put mine in and burn. Okay. So, and I use a candle to burn because it's easier than using like matches or a lighter because they get hot or burn up. And so when you use a candle, it's kind of nice because the flame stays longer. And sometimes it's actually, especially on a soggy day like this, it's not so easy to like burn stuff. Not unless you get a really big fire going like Paula. That's a different story. If you guys have not seen hers, she does have this amazing fire she burns for us regularly. Uh, and I had intentions of that today until the weather changed. And then I was like, well, that's the end of that. Let me get my candle back down here. So what you want to do is you want to write all this down and then burn it and releasing it into the universe. And when you're releasing it into the universe, it's because it no longer serves you. You truly are turning it over to the universe. Paula, yay, yeah. You truly are turning it over to the universe and putting all of it out there with your intentions of letting it go, your intentions of growth, the intentions of what it is you have written in here. And then you always want to thank the universe, the moon, all the energies that have participated in this ritual you're doing. So when we're looking at this, going back to the moon, right? I already talked about Mars. The Mars is giving you, hey, Brandy, hi. Um, Mars is giving you this energy to be able to be able to dig deeper and keep working through it. So what I mean by that is the moon is going to continue to have this energy for a few days, not as intense as today because of the eclipse. I kind of wonder how many babies are going to get born today because it is an eclipse moon. Anyhow, uh, you also will see that this is working with Neptune. So things that would normally seem like they're out of reach for you are very much in reach for you because you have this release of this energy, this creativity, this fantasy, like these different things that you can think of working with your Pisces, which makes it a great time for anyone that is looking to let go of things that are holding back their spiritual growth, right? So we've got energy to break habits, break routines, create these things that we want to get rid of. Well, we also have this energy that can bring us towards more deeper spiritual connection, which that's what we're all doing, right? And then we also have it working with this Taurus energy, right? So now you've got water and earth, and that's the main energy we're working with here. And water and earth work so well together, creating this beautiful trine energy that's harmonious, right? Now, the planets, that's another story. But when we're talking about this energy of harmony, you are looking for integration. You're looking for these connections with people here that can help. Additionally, sorry, the farms are closing down around us, so I don't know if you can hear like all of the people leaving work. But it's the end of the day. The tractors are put away, the barns are closed, and now you're going to hear cars passing by, which is super unusual here. Um, Happens twice a day. But when we've got that energy, think about it like this. Like you have all this earth, which is that stable grounding. And now we're bringing in this energy of moving it forward with the momentum into this water. So you're looking for these connections with other people that are going to be helping you grow. You're looking for these connections of people who are going to help with your energy and with your spiritual growth. You're also going to look for people who are going to be having some different ideas than what you're used to, and bringing all this energy together. You're integrating it into your daily habits and routines, and it's like projecting that way, right? So if you're trying to instigate and get rid of stuff that no longer serves you in your daily habits and routines, now is the time. It's going to be amazing and very abundant for you with this energy. It's all good. So some of that too, when you're looking at this, I'm going to turn. Sorry. I know that this is like a super disruptive, but as the sun and moon are transitioning, so is my view. Everyone on Instagram's got a great view. It's everyone else that's not having such a great view. Hopefully this will help with the light. So I really would invite you to think this through. I know I just dropped like a bunch of erratic information on you, but think about the elements: earth, water. That's what you're working with. You're working with planets of Neptune, the moon, the sun, Mars, and think about how that is. Mars is the only planet right now that is not like vibing. And that's because Mars doesn't really like being in water. It can create a tsunami event, right? So keep that in mind. And these overwhelming emotions that are coming through, don't just discard them. Think them through. Think about, why am I having this emotion? Why am I having this feeling? And look at that to be writing down what you're going to write down on your full moon release tonight. Okay. So last thing, one more time, you're going to write these things down. You're going to burn these babies, and you're going to release it out into the universe. There is, I